Imagine you're a content creator in the year 2011. You catch wind of someone taking your creations and distributing them without your permission. When you call this out, the person who stole your work then claims you hacked them, and this begins a spiral of events that changes your life forever. They try doxing you, sending people after you, sending numerous death threats to you, all over an online creation about some ponies. Even being mentioned by this person until present day, as they use the same tactics they used on you, on another person who caught them 2 years prior to present day sending NSFW materials to a minor, doxing the other person as well after he's called out, and stalking them as well. You, as the content creator, have gained irreparable trauma from the constant barrage of online actions against you, with the stalker seemingly being able to use their platforms to now harass the other person, as neither of you could do anything about it. Even to this day, you still get people tagging you whenever someone brings up the stalker, having to relive your trauma and your past, with the other person now being used as a pawn as the stalker starts making them their new victim. And that's what the Inverted Shadow and myself, aka Cosmic, have experienced so far. That's what we know from the Inverted Shadow side, because I only mentioned the noteworthy things within that from our stalker, DarkHerobrine99. So sit back and grab yourself something to eat, drink, and grab a blanket to get comfortable. From doxing, stalking, and harassment all the way up to sending NSFW materials to a minor, this is the story of DarkHerobrine99, also known as Scarlet Dawn, also known as Space Soldier, also known as Marko, because I refuse to sit idly and let him run rampant with his actions knowing what he has done. I will not allow him to guilt trip people. I will not allow his fan base, however small, to harass people who speak up about him. I will not allow him to manipulate anymore, and I will not allow this wound he has created within my mind and soul to fester and grow with the continued silence I have had to maintain thanks to what he's done. We start all the way back in the year of 2011, with the user the Inverted Shadow, or as I'll refer to him as Shadow. So when I say 2011, I'm using Shadow's words. I also point out this twit longer so you can reference the screenshots I will show, because Scarlia/Herobrine likes to copyright strike anyone who mentions his name that he has made public, mind you, specifically on places like Facebook, where his profile is, or was, very much public and accessible, to which, to everyone's non-surprise at this point I'm sure, the reports actually work due to YouTube's flawed reporting system. This includes his face, which he has said is copyrighted, even though he's shown it multiple times on his social media. But I digress. Now, whilst Shadow has said 2011, I can't fact check that exactly. Instead, we have to reference the post they made on DeviantArt referencing that something indeed happened before. For future reference, please pause to read the screenshots when you want. As you can see, the post says that he has said this happened before, meaning that I am under the belief that Shadow is not lying. In this post that I am showing right now, Shadow explains that people have been distributing private content of his without his permission. Therefore, he removed any links to the now deleted content, specifically name dropping DarkHerobrine99 aka Scarlet Dawn. This was the first mention in the twitlonger, and I am inclined to believe the contents of this twitlonger, as I have previously stated in referendum to the 2011 part. Since this post was made by Shadow on his DeviantArt, Herobrine, in Shadow's words, has been playing the victim in this situation, claiming that Shadow is the bad one within his situation, and then starting a solar system-sized number of attacks against Shadow. Something that's awfully reminiscent of what he's done to me, but we'll get there. An extra thing he also tried doing was saying that he was the Prince of the Elements of Insanity. A small but important detail given how he obsesses over the series and has done since 2011. After starting his charade of victimization on himself, Herobrine then started posting his animations to YouTube. However, a majority of them were taken down due to them using clips from Shadow's series. He proceeded to upload them to Dailymotion and unlisted the YouTube versions. I don't have the direct evidence for this, but what I do have is one of DarkHerobrine/Scarliadon's friends' YouTube channels, which I will list under the name of Nightmare Shadow 1079. When you look at this channel, as of the immediate release of this video, you can see that uploads are indeed there under the Elements of Insanity series, dating back as far as I believe 5 years. When his original copies of his videos on YouTube got copyright struck, Herobrine/Scarlia then decided to accuse Shadow of hacking him, which you can see on his Tumblr, which is called Ask DarkHerobrine99 Sparcake. Alongside this, Herobrine/Scarlia also decided to attempt to dox, specifically to dox Shadow. Something he got wrong about Shadow, something which, again, is incredulously familiar to what happened with me, but we'll get there. Between the DeviantArt post and when the twit longer I am using for referendum in this video was made, Herobrine also did, to say the least, several more things, specifically threatening to assault Shadow and their friend, eBay user Green, when he moves to America. He has threatened to call the police over trivial things, something I don't have direct evidence for, but I do have evidence of him doing the same to me. He has actively sent someone to track Shadow down at the now defunct convention known as BrodyCon in the year of 2017 so he could contact Shadow. He has also attempted to start his own television show about the Elements of Insanity, which he intended to be aired on actual television, with the sole intent to try and take control of the Elements of Insanity. He has threatened violence against his own family due to the fact that Shadow's friends would not believe his deceitful words. He has sent an anonymous White Knight of his to harass Shadow, with this White Knight trying to say that Shadow murdered Herobrine. He has also attempted to convince a YouTuber's audience in terms of his harassment against Shadow, that YouTuber being Fanon Frenzy or FNGR101, aka for no good reason. Finally, to end this list of very long things that he's done, Herobrine/Scarlia has also sent death threats. You know, to tie the bow on the harassment he gave to Shadow between the time he released his DeviantArt post to the time he released his twitlonger. After releasing his twitlonger, Shadow sent a message on Discord saying that he will stop mentioning Herobrine/Scarlia if he did 3 things and kept his word to. A message that Herobrine/Scarlia has always flaunted around, and something I wish to stamp out right here, right now. Herobrine/Scarlia was told that he had to change his Gmod persona to not match Shadow's. Herobrine was told to remove Shadow and his family/friends from all his work and remove videos that he had these people's informations in. Herobrine/Scarlia was told to not contact Shadow, his family, or his friends again. He broke the second by still harassing people who used to know Shadow and gathering people's private information even to this day. For instance, my information. Now, I don't claim to be a friend of Shadow's, but I've obviously looked into this situation given the length of the video, and I have seen that he still sends his White Knights after people from time to time. He broke the third by having someone in Shadow's Discord server presently to monitor Shadow, still trying to keep in close distance with Shadow, and still stalking his social medias and doing what was mentioned before. Meaning that this set of conditions he was told to abide by was broken, meaning that, for all intensive purposes, this message now has always spelled mute thanks to him breaking these conditions. Now, I need to state for the record that all of this is just a fraction of what DarkHerobrine/Scarliadon has done to just one individual. He has harassed and targeted countless others. He has sent White Knights after others. He has tried doing all of this and more to countless others. I should know. Not only was I someone he targeted and will likely target again with the release of this video, but I know many others who have come to me and expressed their own stories of being harassed by DarkHerobrine. Since this point forward, Shadow has not mentioned or uttered Herobrine/Scarlia's name, which I respect on his part. He has no obligation to deal with Herobrine/Scarlia, nor does he have to put any negative energy into this. He deserves to heal, and so do the countless others, including myself. I could leave the video here as a stark example for people to just reference, but we're not done. Not until I get my story out there and stitch this wound up that has been created thanks to him. From here on out, everything experienced will be from my own tale. From my introduction to this and Herobrine, all the way to the current events. So strap in, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot to cover. So we start off at a pretty odd point in my tale. The point I met Herobrine/Scarlia. At the time I was known as Brutal Alicorn, hence why in a later clip he will refer to me as Brutal. He contacted me through my oldest Twitter account, one that was unfortunately suspended, called fucking Brutal1, meaning I have no direct evidence here to substantiate my claims until we refer to the point Herobrine/Scarlia sent NSFW materials to a minor. I say this because Herobrine/Scarlia has gone after an ousted pedophile called Tyler Wilson, something that I personally cannot comment on, but I can tell you that Herobrine was spamming my Twitter DMs at the time with Tyler Wilson's stuff and trying to rope me into his situation. Other people will most likely come into my comments and such, or at the very least have mentioned being messaged by Herobrine outside of the NSFW situation, which will also correlate to the person known as Tyler Wilson. Bear in mind, this was in 2019 through to May of 2020. May of 2020 was the breaking point of our quote-unquote friendship. I say friendship because I considered myself to be somewhat of a friend of his at that point in time, until he was in a voice call with me and a few others in a server that I believe was called Bad News Bears. It was a server owned by a former friend called Ender. He and a few others were getting somewhat tired of him continuing to go on about drama in this server, and when Herobrine joined a call, he tried bringing up someone who was 16 at the time, that he was accusing of harassment towards himself on the platform of Ponytown. Ponytown being a game where people can create their own ponies and chat with other people who create their own ponies on that site. Herobrine, at the time, was 21 years of age, so you can see why all of us in that call essentially told him to grow up. I wish I had stopped dealing with him at this point. I wish I had just blocked him and moved on with my life, but I didn't. That's on me. Curiosity allured me like the smell of a new book. Yes, I do love the smell of newly created books, they're gorgeous. Now, again, whilst I cannot prove this directly through my own self, I can prove that this happened by redirecting you to a video made by Spanish Giovanni, aka Rebel Dragon 3. This video being titled Monday Night Madness Episode 2 DarkHerobrine99, where a call happened and where the discussion in the stream was about this topic, meaning that I am not lying. After this, claims came to my attention revolving around his amino that he ran at the time, involving interactions with minors that were sexual in nature. There was also the issue of him deciding to send his white knights after the user Flutterio, after they had made the decision to ban him from the Equestria amino for his behaviors. All of this was discussed in 2 videos I made, these videos unfortunately not existing anymore. However, I can once again prove these claims, but this time through my own self, through archived screenshots in a video I made called The Nasty World of DarkHerobrine99 Sparkcake Definitive Edition, which can be found on my archive channel, The Latte Tym. Whilst these sexual acts were not Herobrine's directly, yet they were in his amino and these users were not disciplined accordingly. Upon discovering this information and confronting him on this information, Herobrine decided to say such wonderful things, such as, "You're just gonna sign your death warrant," and "Yet, you were also the reason my mother went to a hospital," when myself, Flutterio and him were in a call that was unfortunately not recorded. Thank God for screenshots proving that something at least happened there. Once this was said and done, he copy-pasted a message to various people saying this, that people may or may not see him soon because people have filed FBI reports on him. Then, that was it. For the whole of 2020, up until the 3rd of January 2021, something we'll talk about in the next segment, given the fact that something big happened to me in 2021. We continue in January of 2021. After a fight with someone in December and figuring out that someone else was manipulating me and the person I was fighting, we collectively exposed this said manipulator. To which, not even 3 days after this, where I could get some well-needed mental rest, Herobrine decided to write a twitlonger to Shadow's friends and followers. Given the events in 2019, Herobrine was obviously being ousted by a number of people for his poor behaviour, which is something he should have come to terms with instead of writing this twitlonger. In it, he tries to say that he's moved on, unlike people he mentions further down the twitlonger. Now, to those people, and I don't know if they're going to see this, but if they do, please just ignore him. I wouldn't be mentioning your names right now if he didn't mention your names, and I in no way, shape or form mean to use this video to attack you. So feel free to move on and have a great day. That was just in case some of the people thought this video was attacking or targeting them, due to the fact that everything I say nowadays is often routed to, oh, Cosmic is just starting the drama. Just putting that out there. We skip a little bit until one of my Twitter accounts was suspended after I had a heated argument with someone and called them a see you next Tuesday after they decided to attack myself for ousting someone called Brunny, who sent pictures of their genitalia to a 15-year-old on Instagram. At this time, I found out that Herobrine was still talking about myself with another user I had dealt with called Rainbow Thunder Infinite, who had also been stalking me and compiling evidence, quote unquote, against me when I called him out for having a child porn role in his Discord server at the time. The reason I found out that he was talking about me was from the screenshot on the screen, where Herobrine name dropped me after I decided to say I was going to talk about what he had done. He linked my, at the time, nude account and started trying to harass me, which is where the next thing comes in. Something I didn't catch, but proves what I'm about to say. After this, the thing Herobrine did next was accuse me of hacking him, something I had obviously not done given I'm nowhere near the skill level of doing that, nor do I have any desire or want to hack someone. He proceeded to then get in a call after I started a stream about him about these claims that he was making, where he held a kitchen knife to his throat and threatened to slice his throat, thus killing himself if people didn't send me a virus. So obvious warning for that content. Here it is.
Now choose wisely.
What do you want your parents to suffer? What do you want your
They're
friends
they
to suffer?
stay asleep.
Yeah,
Now,
but what do you want?
Now either you release the fucking virus, whatever you guys planned against Brutal, or I'm dead.
But what do you want them to suffer? That's the question. When they wake up, what do you want them to see your body? That's the thing.
I will leave my message somewhere. Then no one will be able to find it. Not even the hackers. Not even Brutal.
But you're not getting what I'm saying. When you're gone, what do you want your mom, your dad, your cousins, everyone, what do you want them to be like, oh my god, what happened?
They'll find that this live stream cost them. It cost everything. They'll realize that he's a murderer. That he was the one that killed me.
What do you want them to be like? Why we couldn't do nothing? What do you want them to be like? We couldn't save you? You know, like.
Yeah, if you all end up on the news, tell them you guys tried, but some of you betrayed me and left me to dust. To let me rot in hell.
Can you just put down the knife, please?
I'm not going to put it down, no matter what you guys tell me. I'm in control of this.
Can you just watch my video, please?
I'm in control of this.
Just look, be calm, be calm.
No, I'm fucking done.
Be calm.
My life and with this fucking loser.
Please be calm. And watch my video, please. Please. It helps with the subject at hand.
Y'all never wanted to help me in the first place. All what you guys do is betray me.
I've
Is that what I did? Is that what I deserve?
I've helped people with this before.
Brutal, you get the fuck out of here!
Don't watch
I'm in
this.
control of this! Get the fuck
Okay.
out!
Okay, Doc.
Get
Here's,
the fuck out! Get the
Doc, here's the thing.
Goodbye! Goodbye! Goodbye!
No, don't.
No, don't.
Look what is he doing on the stream! Look what is he doing!
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. What the hell is he even doing?
You guys take a screenshot. ASP, get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! You're taking screenshot of this! You monster! You fucking monster! You're doing this! You're doing this! Derpy! Be out! Now! If I need to, I'm gonna help here, everyone!
Dobby, can you get,
Now, nobody passed this video I'm about to show you to myself at the time, otherwise my hiatus could have been avoided. Thanks Nathan Aldustar, thanks Flamehammer, thanks everybody else who decided to not pass this to me when I was in your reach. Now that we have seen this video, and no, I won't be censoring this video because it's up on other channels besides my own archive channel, and I refuse to give in to him or his scare tactics, we can safely assume that, if this was passed to me at the time, no hiatus would have occurred. However, instead of people using their common sense and handing me this, it wasn't shown to me until November/December of that year, after I had my hiatus and returned for the next segment. Needless to say, I was angered, but I could do absolutely nothing given the barrage of attacks against myself. Attacks that forced me to take a break to just recover. Which brings us to November of 2021. Now we move on to November of 2021, where Herobrine did something I didn't expect, in all honesty. Herobrine, in a group chat where he decided to talk about Tyler Wilson once again, sent popcornographic content, aka NSFW content, in this group chat, in the presence of a minor that he knew the age of. Clearly trying to go after Tyler, he ended up shooting himself in the foot and essentially criminalized himself. His admission is here on an old stream that I no longer have available to me, but I do have the admission clip thanks to the user MLP Steve PVB. Oh my god, it's a yes or no question, Dark. Oh my god. Just say yes or no. It's that simple.
You know what? Yes, I fucking know Cody's age. The fucking piece of shit little bitch.
Now, after this is where I found the clip that I showed you in the last segment. When I found this clip, I was absolutely and totally consumed with anger as previously stated. Anger that nobody passed this to me, and anger that Herobrine was allowed to do this. He was allowed to suicide bait, and nobody with a brain decided to send this to me. It was passed around to everyone, but the person the clip was mainly about, which was me. Purposefully hidden from me. But once I found out, I was livid. I even made a 4-hour stream that's been removed just playing the clip on repeat, but that's enough of that. Now, after this, and into the year of 2022, is where the Brandon the Brony Pony / Ryan on Wi-Fi situation happened. I'm not going to go into that situation since I already have a video about the subject on my channel. It's not that hard to spot, as it's called The Forgotten Perspective. So consider this both as a sequel and a prequel to that video in terms of events that have been listed and explained. I'm sure I'll piece everything together in a definitive video about both subjects since they both intertwine. But for now, let's focus on the present. All you need to know that relates to this video from that situation is that Herobrine was behind the scenes deciding to talk about me more and more because I ousted him after he made a quote-unquote apology, in loose quotes saying he wouldn't speak about me. When I wanted to confront him on all of the occasions that he had spoken about me on, he'd leave the group chats. However, someone else entered the scene from the Brandon situation. Someone named Seeing Kim, aka Exorcist Rising. Someone who has accused me of cyberbullying and harassing both Brandon and Herobrine despite the clear contradictions in his own wording. He made a total of 150 videos minimum about me and still occasionally speaks about me. After this, things surprisingly calmed down, as the majority of 2022 was spent dealing with Ryan on Wi-Fi and Brandon the Brony Pony. However, things did pick up again in January of 2023, where former friends of mine led a minor known as Ali, now known as Indy, in group chats with Herobrine. During 2022, specifically April, this minor had gone on the record to accuse Herobrine of grooming them. This minor was 16 at the time and only told myself and another person that they were lying about being groomed, after the situation with Caroline Cat happened, which I explained in my quote-unquote The Forgotten Perspective video. One where a fight broke out between myself and Caroline, as well as others, thanks to the fact that I caught this minor in said group chats with Herobrine, someone who was known at the time by all of these people to have sent NSFW material to the previous minor. I told Herobrine directly through a group chat where I was able to get him in there long enough to write him a message, letting him know about the situation, to which he decided to say that all the stuff I apparently pulled has disgusted him. Bear in mind that he was caught in a video putting a blunt-ended kitchen knife to his throat to name one of the countless other acts he has committed. But I digress. Things cooled down once again, until Herobrine/Scarlia again decided to talk about me. This time, when I made my most recent video about him specifically that was titled Absolving DarkHerobrine99 Sparcake of Everything at 3 AM, where I compiled everything I talked about previously into one 3-minute video. Arguably, it could be said that that video is a shorter version of this one. To which, Herobrine did not stop sending White Knights after me, obviously. Things died down a little bit after I released my The Forgotten Perspective video. However, what I caught in September and what happened within September greatly distressed me, and I haven't got the confidence to speak again until now. So, within September, specifically the first weeks of September, I was informed that Herobrine and the user Seeing Kim, who goes by Exorcist Rising as stated before, both had my docs, as you can see from the screenshots I am showing you. Since this greatly, and I mean greatly, disturbed me, I made a quick video called Catching Seeing Kim and DarkHerobrine99 Sparcake Scarlia Dawn Doxing Me Feet RuPaul, which, from the title, was not all that serious, but the subject covered was serious. I just didn't want to record a voiceover, so I used the text-to-speech bot. During this time, a white knight called Megan decided to come out of the woodworks to shame me for revealing this information. Something I have yet to get an apology for or even a retraction for, since I know for the fact that what I said was the truth. What she said was essentially to get over it, something that, if I had said this to her during a serious situation, would have most definitely have been used to absolutely hammer into my skull about what a terrible human being I am. Megan also decided to blame me for the death of Herobrine's friend, something that Herobrine was obviously doing, as Herobrine was and still does watch my content. Hi Herobrine! A person who passed away due to something completely unrelated to this situation has now been intertwined into Herobrine's sadistic game of cry-bullying, and it's disgusting. But back to the Discord stuff. When I reported Herobrine and Seed's messages, where they showed my docs, Discord must have thought that I had doxed myself and must have acted in error, since my Discord account that I had since July 21st, 2016, so 7 years at this point, got disabled. Permanently, meaning I couldn't and can't access it anymore, meaning that all evidence I am showing you could have actually been backed up by myself directly through that account at various points had Discord not made this error, and could have been substantially boosted in credibility and truth. I know that Discord made this mistake since I can say, for certainty and with confidence, that nothing I ever did in that group chat constituted to disable. Multiple people can vouch for this and can come to my defense. When I tried appealing, Discord gave me an automated response. Connections I had made throughout the years on Discord, including my first YouTube friend circle, can never be accessed again. The chats I was in, unless I had people in them, are gone. The account has been terminated, sadly. So that's where I thought the end would be, given the fact that, after this, I did not make another video relating to the situation. However, as time went on, everything felt off, as if the way things happened was nagging me. Everything felt like an opened wound every time I so much as thought about it. It was a similar feeling to when I thought about the Forgotten Perspective, really. Something that felt incomplete. So, when thoughts and temptations about making this specific video were too great and distressing to ignore, I got to work. I publicly let people in my audience know that I was feeling this way, and I started writing this. Only for someone else to intervene and accuse me of forming a ring of stalkers. This person being called Paper Hat Society, also known as Noah, a 34-year-old man who draws NSFW materials of underage characters such as Sabella Dracula from one of the many Scooby-Doo series, who decided that he wasn't going to take me standing up for myself and decided to let his 7,250 odd subscribers know that I have apparently tormented someone for 3 to 4 years. That I apparently deserve all the harassment from the White Knights, and then, when I responded rightfully calling him out about this, he decided to paint the narrative that I was the one who instigated everything in terms of mine and Noah's brief argument. Then, after this, in his comments, he decided to accuse me of being a pedophile, something actually defamatory and something I could pursue legal action for. So, this little segment is dedicated to him since he wanted to insert himself into this. Noah, you are someone who takes no issue with fetishizing and drawing underage characters sexually. You take no issue with your friend sending White Knights to come and attack everyone who so much as utters his name. But when someone stands up for themselves, you decide to do what your friend does, victim blame. Then, when I respond to you, you cower and cry. It's cry bullying. What you're doing and will probably continue to do is known as cry bullying. You couldn't even have the decency to respect that I'm a trans woman and instead used he/him instead of she/her. Something transphobic considering everybody under the sun already knows that I am trans woman and I am trying to transition into a woman. But given that you support the Confederates, it doesn't really surprise me. Sadly, it's also behavior that lines up with people like Scene Kim, so that's not really a surprise given that you and Scene talk to Herobrine/Scarlia frequently. You are absolutely disgusting, and I hope that when the time comes, both you and Marko face the consequences of your actions. As for my message to Marko. Marko, you have caused irreparable trauma and damage to at least 2 people, myself and Shadow, with countless damage being done to so many others that I haven't even mentioned. No matter how much you want to use Shadow as a defense against me, the facts are that all you do every time you so much as utter his name is disrespect him by using him for your malicious campaign. There was a point where I didn't know about what you had done, back in the year of 2020, when you did what you did in the presence of the people within the Bad News Bears Discord server. Had you not continued to specifically target me after myself and Flutterio confronted you about your amino, and had you not developed and festered this abhorrent and disturbing obsession with me, none of what happened after BNB would have happened. Ever since the amino incident, all you've done is seemingly swap Shadow for me in terms of harassment. Did you really think that would work for you in the long run? Did you really think harboring this much hatred for one single person was going to work? As someone who's harbored a great amount of hatred for someone in my life at one point until I got the full picture, I know how that feels. In a way, I feel sorry for you. You allow your mind to be completely enraptured by all this negativity. Then, when someone stands up for themselves, like Turbo, when you constantly went to them with drama and they told you to stop sending them this stuff, you send White Knights after them to harass them and decide to add them to your list of people to stalk. I'm not going to tell you to stop, because I know you won't listen and that my advice will fall on deaf ears. You'll find a way to destroy yourself and those around you. You've corrupted yourself from this malicious determination you have, which is just sad to see. What you've done is completely unacceptable, and I hope the people you've harassed, doxed, manipulated, and caused trauma to can find rest within this last message. Since this ends here, now, for all of us, I'm going to leave you to your demons. You clearly need to face them when the end comes. All I can say now is goodbye, Herobrine/Scarlia. Or rather, Marko. This is KosmikTym at 1834 on the 10th of December 2023. Hi, you've reached the end of the video. When I was making this video, a lot of emotions, to say the least, came through. When I was speaking about the inverted shadow, that, not to say that it was obviously affecting me in terms of I was the one who received that, but it was just so reminiscent of the situation that I'm in that, you know, it did resonate with me, and it always has, really, when I first stumbled upon it, in terms of when I found that in 2020, because I found that in 2020. I believe it was during the amino thing, which I think is something that I forgot to mention, but that's how I found that out. But then I moved on to 2021 to now. Feelings of anger popped up, obviously, as I'm sure you'll be able to tell from my lovely little speech to Flame and Nathan being like, thanks, you didn't even pass this to me until it accidentally slipped, because that's how it happened. It accidentally slipped into my mentions and I went, excuse me, I wish I had stuff to prove this, but you know, that account's gone, so rip her. And then the 2023 stuff with the Discord account being disabled, I just kind of gave up. The theme I wanted for this video was the theme of space, and the reason why that was is because last time was time, so this time I wanted it to be space. And the reason why I wanted it to be space is because when I think about this situation, I think of how distant I became from my own mental, like, you know, stability thanks to this at points, and it almost reminded me of the distance between two planets, and the distance between galaxies, and the distance between stars. So I really wanted the theme of space. I hope that was partially achieved, at least. I chose the backing track of Gun Fortress because in Shadow the Hedgehog, Shadow, if you take the darkest of dark routes during the campaign that you choose, where you go dark, 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 the last stage that you encounter is Gun Fortress, and it's this stage where you feel like Shadow's lost himself, but he's at peace with that, and that's kind of how I felt for the majority of this whole situation. I feel like I lost myself a little bit, or not even a little bit, a lot. It was very interesting making this video, I'll say. I'm not emotional like I was in the Forgotten Perspective, mainly due to the fact that nobody decided last minute, or that I decided last minute to go into anything, because nothing exists where I could have found somebody betraying me, or, you know, thanking somebody who had ruined their life. And I hope this video serves as an example to not just route my words to drama. Sure, I've gotten into a lot of drama in the past, but I don't just speak about drama, right? I think we can all agree that on that. My Forgotten Perspective video should have been enough at that point to really make people realize that. And I honestly doubt that people will actually take what I have requested there, you know, in any faith whatsoever, because they will just think that it's just cosmic. It's a sad tale that has been spun about myself, and the reason that is because I have been reactionary in the past. in terms of Herobrine. And because of that, Herobrine and his White Knights, such as Megan, who has also done stuff in the past, but the main thing that I wanted to touch on was the September thing. His White Knights who came into my comments when the videos were originally uploaded onto this channel. The White Knights that would come in and be like, stop bullying the inverted shadow, this, that, and the other. They were able to spin the image that I was just somebody who started drama. And because of this offhand negative reputation that I unintentionally began developing, people were able to hear that from other people who they didn't know were friends with Herobrine or associated with Herobrine, who heard opinions about, you know, me when I was dealing with Herobrine, and just automatically assumed that I'm all about drama, this, that, and the other. I don't do anything else, this, that, and the other. And that has kind of, I don't know if I'm using the right word here, but it's when something grows bigger than you realize in like a short amount of time, I believe. It superseded me, my reputation, in a very bad way. I realized this, and I didn't really have the way to combat this, in terms of, you know, actually dealing with it in a video like this, because I just didn't think to make this type of video before. But now, with this video out, not only can all of the hurt that I have received from Herobrine, you know, disappear essentially, but all of the drama and stuff can start to fade away properly with the facts, because the facts are that Herobrine has harassed a number of people, has decided to go against a number of people, has actually committed crimes, and starts victim blaming and cry bullying, which I just don't find acceptable. And to everybody else who's also been in the same situation to me, or a similar situation, I resonate with you more than you could possibly know. Even if we don't like each other, if you have received harassment from this person, if you have received death threats from this person, if you have been doxxed by this person, because he still gathers other people's information as we speak. He, I believe, gathered or tries to gather information about the Detective Pigeon, who is somebody who, as of today, I believe, today, had their video copyright struck because they used a picture of Herobrine's OC, but the catch is that he didn't even make the picture, as his DeviantArt says, so when he uses that to copyright strike, it's just very yuck. But to the people who have been harassed with this person, I do resonate with you all, even if I don't like you. I do resonate, and I hope that someday I can sit down with people who have been harassed by this person and just have a chill conversation, exchanging experiences with them in terms of this person, if that ever happens, just to have somebody to like bounce off of, and, you know, somebody who gets the situation, somebody who knows the situation. It's very hard to understand what any of this feels like unless you are directly the one receiving it. And from basically day one, ever since I went through that amino stuff, I have received it since day one, and it's disgusting. And I am probably the person he's harassed for the second longest time. The longest time of any harassment that he's done has been the inverted shadow. As of 2019, it was 8 years. As of now, it's 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23. So that would be 12 years. That would be 12 years. Whereas me, I've only received it for roughly about 3 to 4 years now. 3.5. So I've received a quarter of what has happened. But the catch is that I believe I've received nearly just as much as the inverted shadow. And I say nearly because obviously I haven't had him try to get people to contact me IRL and come to try and, you know, come for me. But I've had like basically all of what the inverted shadow had to go through plastered on me within like a quarter of the amount of time. And that's not to say that the inverted shadow's situation doesn't matter. Please don't take it that way, because I do feel for him. I'm just saying that it feels like what happened to me was essentially a quicker and more condensed version of what happened to the inverted shadow. That's just how I feel. Again, I could be wrong, but you know. As for future things, I have a book that I'm on the verge of releasing that I have just gotten right here in my hands, called Persistence is Key Beginnings. Now you can find this on filmfiction.net. I am holding it in my hands and I've just flipped through the pages if you heard something weird, because I got it printed out via Ingram Spark and I will be distributing it soon when I can get the money to get an ISBN. But I would say out of everything that happens this year, out of every nasty thing that has happened towards me, from the harassment that I received from Caroline and Ali saying that I forced Ali to starve herself, etc., which you can find in the Forgotten Perspective video if you're curious, all the way up to my Discord account being disabled and this video, Persistence is Key, 01 Beginnings, I have put dedication into, and I didn't give up on. Thanks to that, I finished the book. Something I never thought I would do. Which is really powerful if you think about it. Throughout all of this adversity, all of this borderline trauma at this point, because him sending all of his white knights after me, being accused of murdering someone, was kind of traumatic. Having my Discord account disabled for, you know, seemingly no reason was, you know, traumatic in a way. And seeing him put a blunt end of like a kitchen knife up to his throat and threaten people with suicide if they didn't send me a virus was kind of traumatic given the circumstances of it not being, you know, brought to my attention. Thanks Nathan, thanks Blame, thanks everybody else who had it. Still hate you all. But in terms of that, and in terms of this book that I am holding right now, literally I've got both of my thumbs on it with the rest of my hand grasping it. I am so proud of the book that I have written. This book is a testament to how far I have come. If this was 2021 or 2020 or arguably even 2022, I would have continued and continued and continued and just constantly made stream after stream after stream where it's just based on nothing. But now, because I have this all in about 1 hour or less video at this point, I would say that I did extremely well piecing all of this together and keeping my composure. As for future things, I don't know what the future holds. I will attempt to try and keep doing my Mario RPG series, but I do need a little bit of a break. It's not going to be enough for me, sadly, to sit here and, you know, be able to record all of Mario RPG after releasing this video. But what I can say is that I will finish it in the start of 2024, and we will, you know, accelerate. Because this is going to be the second to last video that you will see on this channel this year. The other one will be Alpha Sapphire now, thanks to this video. But it's not bad that this video was made. It's actually very good. After I've done Mario RPG, I don't know what I'm going to do. I do preferably want to settle down and focus on writing my story and possibly start streaming again, just because I found comfort in streaming almost. It won't be any drama streams, hopefully. It will literally just be myself sat, like, just playing Minecraft or something, just chilling out. In the event that these people continue, I'm just going to ignore them. And in the event that this video is copyright struck or privacy complainted, I will be passing it on to other people. and I will not be taking it down, because everything in this deserves to be heard, deserves to be seen, and deserves to be shown for what it is. It's baffling that, to me personally, it's baffling that I didn't piece everything together in a video beforehand, from 2021 onwards, in terms of the nasty world of DarkHerobrine99. Although I believe that, no, actually, that one didn't. Okay, well, consider this a definitive edition. Consider this. I already said what I need to say to Marko. I've already said what I need to say to Paper Hat. I've already said what I need to say to Scene. See, I was getting Scene, Kim, muddled together, so it was just Sim. I've said what I need to say to him in my Forgotten Perspective video, and I don't even want to think about these people anymore. I don't even want to give them the time of day in my mind. It's just something that I want to move on from, sorry. And it's something that I don't want to have to think about. And I don't want to be silenced on, because I know I'm in the right in this situation. And I know that because of me speaking up, things are going to get spun again at me, and at this point I'm past the point of caring, other than the fact that people route me to being somebody who just speaks about drama. No, I'm not. I am somebody who tells facts, and because I tell the facts, people try and silence me for them. That's all for that part, and that's all for this part. Thank you so much for watching. Links, applicable links anyway, will be in the description below, including the Inverted Shadows Twitlonger, the archive channel, and if you want to read my story, my film fiction will be there, because I did post my story there, and my story is available to read for anybody. I'm just releasing a physical edition to, you know, to have that satisfaction, and for anybody who really likes the series, who wants to support me. So that's me. I'm out. Have a great one, ladies. Enjoy the end music.